Yo, Kpaceguy here. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to make a fun video. I think a lot of you guys in the comment section, and maybe even just in general, have been wondering, how am I running around in this small apartment with 3 subwoofers? I have 3 subwoofers in this room, and they're not particularly small. Maybe one is, and we'll start off with that one down here. This is the Definitive Technology DN10 sub. Now, it's a small compact sub, but it's very big in performance because it has a front-facing driver and then 2 passive radiators. So this is sealed, but it has passive radiators to allow me to get that ported type of performance, but get the qualities of a sealed enclosure. And so this thing definitely performs a lot bigger than it is for sure, and it stays in my front stage there with the rest of the speakers. And then off to the bigger subs. This is the Rhythmic G25 HP Subwoofer. Now this one is an 1800 RMS speaker here, a subwoofer here, dual opposed 15s. So 15s on both sides, and then there's a plate amplifier giving me 1800 watts RMS. And this thing gets very loud and very, very low, down to 12 hertz, and it's an incredibly flat sound. And it's not even maybe 20% volume up. Same thing with this one. This one's more like halfway up or a little bit more than halfway on the dial there. And then on this side of the room is the Rythmik clone here. I call it the Rythmimic because I built this DIY to mimic the performance, size, shape, and look of the Rythmik down there. So this is also dual 15s, sealed, dual opposed. This is getting 2000 watts RMS. So there are 3 subs in here that are absolutely massive. And you guys, if I just kind of step back, I'm actually standing outside of the living room. I'm now in the hallway. So it's not a big room whatsoever. I'll come to this corner here and turn around so you can see where I was standing in that hallway there. It's not a big room whatsoever. I believe my measurements, I think it's 27 or so inches wide. From this way, it's about, I think, 14 feet. I said inches, good Lord. 27 feet wide, 14 inches deep, 8 feet of ceiling here, 8-foot ceilings. So it's not a big room at all. So you're probably wondering, why do you have 3 subs anyway? And then how do you get away with it? Well, the reason why you have subs in general is to help your speakers with the low bass performance. Most speakers nowadays aren't full range. Most of them can play pretty low, but those low tactile notes during movies, things like that, you're gonna need or want a sub to get the overall rounded sound that you need when watching movies. So that's why you have subs. When you get more than one, you don't get more than one because you think, oh yeah, if I start adding subs, I'll have crazy amounts of SPL, really loud bass. That's not really the case. You get multiple subs to take care of multiple positions in the room. Now, mine are really strategically placed, and this is gonna help kind of explain why or how I have 3 in my room. So if you can take a look, none of my subs are really in the corners. There's a good distance between this sub and that corner. There's a good distance between that sub and that corner. And then this sub right here is not anywhere near a corner whatsoever. And so they're strategically placed so that this entire couch has a good sound, but so does most of the room overall. I can walk around this room and every spot in here has good sounding bass because everything is kind of adjacent to each other so that it's covering more spaces of the room. So that's why you get multiple subs. It's not because you want to crank it loud, it's because you want what bass is there to be even and present no matter where you go in the room. I like to listen to music a lot when I clean the room or whenever I'm doing sound demos or whatever. And so it actually matters to me that most of this room is covered with good sounding bass, because as I'm cleaning or walking around or moving things or unboxing something for you guys and I have music on, I want the music to sound good everywhere that I go, not just there. So how do I have this many subs with no problems, no complaints? I do have 3 other people who live in this apartment, somebody across the street, across the hallway, upstairs across the hallway, and then there's somebody above me. How do I have this many subs with no complaints? Number 1 is you just have to be simply respectful. When you're watching something, be mindful of the time of day, be mindful of the day of the week. People want to come home on a Tuesday at 6:30 and just relax. So you're not necessarily going to be able to crank it up. Now, I am able to turn it up pretty loud, and a lot of it is because of how I have all my subs placed. It sounds really good here, so it's not too loud. I don't have any nulls right here, right? So that if you have a null, you usually have to try to turn the volume up to make up for that, which you're not supposed to do, but it may be quiet to you here, it may be loud to everybody else in the apartment. So having it calibrated for my seat and have it positioned for my seat means that I know how loud it is most likely to the rest of the apartment, so that I'm never turning it up too loud for them and I can't hear it myself, if that makes any sense. So I calibrate it so that I know how loud the sound is. If it's not gonna be any louder anywhere else than it is here, because that's how I have it tuned. So that's one way that I have 3 subs in here. Number 3, I guess we're on number 3. First one was just be respectful. 2 was to make sure you do calibration and placement. And then 3, make sure you're buying the right subs for your needs. All of these subs here are sealed, which makes it a little bit easier for me to keep the sound in the room. Not that you can't do it with ported subs, but it's maybe a little bit harder. Ported subs, or subs in general, have an issue with leaving the room. Those low bass notes travel far, and they shake everything, they rattle everything, and they escape the walls and escape the room. But sealed subs seems a little bit easier to control because the sound is more flat, meaning the volume level across all the frequencies stays pretty even. So I don't have to try to combat any of those peaks and lulls that ported subs can provide you in a room like this. Having treatment in here has helped too. Those are JIK acoustic panels there. There's some acoustic panels here. There's some behind, and they all do different. There's some over there. They all do different frequencies, so it helps keep the sound tamed, and it helps keep the sound tight, so I know what's going on, so I don't have to worry about, hey, is this too loud to my neighbors? So that's how I have this many subs in here. If I had 1 sub, I would probably have to turn that one louder to get the same effect here, meaning more people can hear it in the apartment. But since I have so many, it's covering all my spots, the bass is even, it's fixing a lot of my nulls, and so I'm getting nice, smooth, I mean absolute nice and smooth bass in my seat. So I have no worries, I don't need to turn it up to get a really nice sound. So that's how I've managed to have this whole home theater in my small apartment. If you're not familiar with my system, I'm running all KEF speakers minus the SPS elevations, not only in the ceilings but in the wall as well. I have a whole KEF system. This is probably a system you would probably put in a medium to large room, and I have it in a very small 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment, and I've had 0 complaints. Because 1, you just be respectful. Sometimes you just have to be mindful. But 2, make sure you tailor your system as well as you can to where you're going to be sitting most of the time, so that you know your volume levels. You don't have to worry about turning it up and then affecting everybody else around you, whether that's in your own home or your neighbors or whatever the case is. So I've enjoyed my system, but ultimately I am ready to move. I was going to move around this time this year, but prices have been too high. But I've heard that they started to go on that decline. So probably next year, very soon, I will be out of this place and into my own home, and then I don't have to worry about making noise and disturbing other people. I can make as much noise as I want to, and I cannot wait for that. So leave me down below in the comment sections, how many subs do you have in your system? I want to know how many you're using, 1, 2, or 3, and then tell me if you're using more than 1, are they all the same type? Are they all the same brand, the same model? Let me know all that down below in the comment section, because I'm curious to see how you set up your theater. Let me know that down below. Hit that like button and subscribe if you are not already. We will see you guys in the next video. Kpaceguy out. Peace.